Finally, it is time to get the tomatoes on the go. And yes, I am wearing sunglasses in the greenhouse today because it's incredibly sunny, and if I didn't, I couldn't see what I was doing. But anyway, tomatoes, and I've got mixed feelings at the moment about tomatoes because it's the 1st of April when I'm filming this. It might be a little bit later in the week, maybe it's next week when this video actually comes out, but I'm feeling a little bit behind, but I don't know why, because I'm purposefully delaying when I'm doing things this year. So I'm purposely sowing the tomatoes later than I have done previously, so I can manage the space a little better inside. But I still feel a bit anxious. I think I wish I'd almost done them a week earlier. Maybe it's 2 weeks earlier. Maybe it's a bit much. Maybe it's a week earlier. If I'd done them a week earlier, I think I would have been feeling a lot better. But not to worry. We've got 12 different varieties on the go, and I've got them all sorted out over there. We'll go through the varieties whilst we're sort of getting them sown and getting them on the go. Tell you all about the different ones that we're doing this year. And I've got a complete mix of ones that I've done previously, ones that I've bought that are brand new to me this year, and ones that people have sent me. And I've got some wonderfully different varieties to try out this year. But anyway, enough of me waffling on about that. Let's get set up over here and let's finally get some tomatoes on the go for 2025. So the compost mix we're using today is nothing particularly fancy. It's just some bog standard Westland multi-purpose compost that I use quite a lot of for sowing seed. It has been sieved to move any of the big sort of lumps and bumps out of it, and the little white flecks you can see in it there is perlite. And I'm just gonna tamp it down just a little bit just to get a nice flat level surface in there, because obviously we want our nice valuable tomato seed, and some of the tomato seeds are quite valuable, and I'll come to that in just a jiffy there, just a moment, because we want to get good contact with the compost so we can maximise our chances of germination. Now some of these, I've only got, how many little trays I've got 8 of these little quarter size seed trays. The little quarter size seed trays there, they've got the lids, and we'll do the lids in a bit. I've got 8 of them, and I've got 12 varieties of tomatoes, so I'm going to have to double some of them up, half a tray of some, half a tray of the others, which is fine when we're just getting them on the go. Some of them though, I'm probably going to take extra care with, although there's only three of these seeds. Sorry, the first ones I am doing here, you probably can't, the sun is playing havoc with the camera. Let me try and show you down here. So these are Tim's Taste of Paradise, and these were sent to me from Mel, and these are valuable seeds because they're difficult to get hold of in the UK. I don't think they're widely sold by a lot of the seed manufacturers. I don't know if Mel, I don't know if these are saved seeds from her own or if they are ones that she bought and she's had spare. But look, we've only got 3 of the tiniest little seeds, and I am so keen to do a good job of doing Tim's Taste of Paradise, because last year Steve Digwell was very kind and sent me some, and I made a bit of a mess of them, and that was entirely my fault. And all I'm doing, I'm just doing now, so I've put them in this tray here because there's only 3 of them. I'm going to use, I've got a blank sort of seed label there, and I'm just going to pop that in the middle because I'll do different ones just so I know which half is which, and we'll pop a little bit of compost on the top there. And that's because Tim's Taste of Paradise are meant to be amazing. They're meant to be a bit of a rival for what I think is probably the best tomato on the go, and that is Sun Gold. So Sun Gold, I think, is probably one of the best tomatoes out there. And in the other side of this tray, we're going to do some Paul Robeson there as well. So I'm really looking forward to trying these. Quite a few people, I think, are trying these possibly for the first time this year. And again, they're one of those tomatoes that they've got a really good reputation, and it's one that I've never tried before. So in this quarter size seed tray, we've done 3 Tim's Taste of Paradise, and we've done 4 Paul Robeson, and hopefully that's going to be good enough. And here's some labels I did earlier. I've just got to find the right ones, and I'm hoping I wrote them all out earlier. You can guarantee they're always in the last place you look. There we go. Tim's Taste of Paradise and Paul Robeson together. They'll get a water later on, and we'll get the lids on, but we'll worry about that in a bit. Let me find some space to put it. I'm running out of space in here. It's getting towards that time of year. I do have another unit actually to move into the back of the greenhouse. What do we have next? What have we got here? We've got some tomato. This is a beefsteak tomato called Millionaire, and this was from Jenny, the Moorside gardener. And as I think I said previously, how many seeds we've got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5 of these. That Jenny's packaging of the seeds was second to none. It was absolutely superb. I've sent some seeds this year, and I am wholly embarrassed about the packaging that I used compared to Jenny's. They're so pro. Look, they even come with little stickers on the back, and they were well packaged and well put together. And we'll do, tell you what, we'll do two. We've got 2 lots of Jenny's seeds here, and this one here is True Black Brandywine, which is a large, really yummy tomato apparently. So we'll do that in the same tub, and we'll do 5 of them. And I am doing more here. When I'm saying I'm doing 5 of these, I'm doing way more than I need, but it's always good to have spares, especially when you're doing things like tomatoes, because in the past I personally have definitely had issues with them. Plus I do a help out at a community plant swap event sort of thing, and that is in the middle of May, middle to the end of May. We do that, and I always like to have spare plants for that, and I'm struggling once again to find the right plant labels. Right, there's Millionaire, that's that one. And what was the other one that we did? It was the Black Brandywine. Hold on, don't say I've not written a label out for one of them. I'll be devastated. Hold on, it's got to be here somewhere. There it is. I knew I'd prepped all right. I knew I had labels for everything. And let me not get my seeds mixed up. So we've got the ones left still to sow over there, and we'll put them up there next to the beetroot. Not that you can see that. I'm telling you it's going up there next to the beetroot, but you can't actually see that. What else have we got next? So we've got some more here. These ones in these little packets have come from Ali. And what have we got here? First one is Marble Stripe. Now I really like stripy tomatoes. I can't say the taste is that different, but is it variegated you call them when it's stripy like that? But I love the way they look. I really like it. These ones here, Marble Stripe, are ones that do that. And I'll try and I want to try and save some of these seeds, and I'm making we'll do 3 of these just because I want to save some of these seeds for next year. So there's 6 seeds in the packet, and I've just there's good time. It's amazing what you catch on video. I've lost the 3 that I had in my hand. If I'm lucky, the 3 of them have dropped onto the floor and not into the tray with all the compost. Because if they've dropped into the tray with all the compost, that's going to cause a little bit of an issue when I inevitably use that compost in a different tray, and the tomatoes that I thought were in that tray aren't in that tray, and some different random ones start growing. But hey, we're not going to worry. We're not going to get too upset about that. These things happen. We've got to laugh, haven't we? You've got to laugh or you'd cry at this sort of thing. And the next one here, now I really like the sound of this one, and we'll show you there. This one here is called Chupa Chups, and we've got 4 Chupa Chup seeds, and let's see if I can get just to it. I should do this under the camera so you can see it there. I'm doing it close up, but I'm trying to be so careful, especially after potentially just dropping all those seeds in there. Anyway, just while I'm doing this, while I'm finishing this little bit off, what tomato varieties are you all growing this year? Please do let me know in the comments down below. I love seeing all the different varieties of tomatoes that people grow, all the different ones that get done, because I don't know, I don't know how many varieties of tomatoes there must be out there growing that different people do. It never ever fails to amaze me how many there are. So we've got the Marvel stripe on that side, and we've got Chupa Chups on that side. And I'm hoping my plan is, so some of these rare seeds with the funky ones, with the funky names, and the especially Tim's Taste of Paradise, especially that one, I'm hoping if they grow well and I do a good job to start saving my own seed at the end of the year, and then I've got my own supply, that maybe I can then send to other people. So here we go. One here, Great Scott, this variety is called. So we'll give this a try. I don't know a lot about this particular tomato, but I thought we're in Scotland and it's called Great Scott. So I thought we absolutely have to do this. So I do. And well, who'd have thunk it if there was a little bit of a funny glitch, a little funny edit in the video there, that here in Scotland on the 1st of April, the camera would overheat. Obviously, it's a bit warm in the greenhouse, and I had it perched over this side, so it sits over here normally, and it's right in the sunshine, and it is overheated. So it's now over here in the shade. So you've now got my other side as opposed to that side. So anyway, let's pick up where we left off. So this variety here, there we go, Eagle something. Sorry, Ali, I can't quite read your writing there. I'll read the little label that I've done at the end there. I think Ali might have been a doctor in a previous life. I think that's the doctor's writing on there. No, that's a bit mean to Ali, especially when she's been so kind to send me some of these seeds, and I'm going to do 3 of them, I think. And what I haven't done is, because I got distracted by the camera overheating, I haven't put one of our blank labels in the middle there, just so we know where the separation between the 2 different types of plant are. Well, I say plant, they're seeds. I'm hoping they're going to be plants, based on the chili and pepper disaster. You know, I'm not counting my chickens just yet. And let me get my labels out and I'll remind you of what these are. So we've got Great Scott on this side. Eagle Smiley is the name of the other tomato we're doing there. And now that we have this nice gap up here, we'll start filling it with seed trays. And speaking of seed trays, let's get some more, because we're out of seed trays. So I must admit, it was really nice, it was really overwhelming, like how nice people are with sending and swapping seeds. I think, like, I'm like probably the only person, I would say, in like my friend group, you know, my social group, my friends at work, my friends from, you know, friends like when I've been at school and things like that. I'm like the only one who really does any kind of serious, I say serious, you know, we can't call me serious, really, can we? Any sort of real serious-ish gardening, the only one who does anything with an allotment, anything like that. And you know what? Gardening people and allotment people are some of the nicest people, I think. You know, you get the odd one, don't you? You see these nightmare stories about people having awful allotment neighbours, garden neighbours, all that sort of stuff, which is true. In any walk of life, you get bad people and bad things, but on the whole, allotment people and garden people are the loveliest people you could ever meet. They're so helpful, so friendly. People are sending me seeds, sending me plants when we have disasters, and I'll do the same for other people, and it's just such a nice thing anyway, isn't it? Next up, we've got a variety I've not tried before. This is called, let me see if you can quite see it in the light there. This is Red Robin, and this is from Pammy. Pammy is one of my patrons, so thank you very much for supporting me, not only on Patreon, but for sending me some seeds. Anybody else, by the way, if you want to be a Patreon, you can have a look in the description down below. There's a little bit of extra content in Patreon, and you get little bits of updates on different things on the allotment, away from the allotment, all sorts of different bits and pieces. There'll also be a thing probably pops up at the end of the video on the end screen that tells you about Patreon as well. But what I don't do is I don't go on about it very much on the channel itself. It's just I mention it just in every now and again if anybody fancies going to take a look. But anyway, back to the more important business of sowing seeds and remembering to put the right labels in. So Red Robin again is one that I have not done before, but Pammy assures me they are absolutely top notch. They are superb. So I'm looking forward to seeing them grow now. We're finally one to the ones I've bought, the ones I've got, ones that I like trying. New one here, Shimmy Fury. So Shimmy Fury. I just thought they looked quite nice. No other reason. They've got quite a funky name. I don't think you need to have any particular reason, do you, for trying any type of seeds? If you like the look of something, if you like the name, if you I don't know, somebody's given you them, whatever. It can be anything. Just try whatever you want to try. You don't have to prescribe to anything in particular. It's your garden, it's your space, it's your little bit of paradise, isn't it? So just do what makes you happy or what you want to do in your space, because that's exactly what it's there for, isn't it? Gardening, it shouldn't be really stressful. I know we do get a bit anxious about whether things are going to grow. And, you know, when you start getting problems with pests and diseases, especially anything like blight or anything like that, I mean, it can cause some real problems. But I try not to get too stressed out about it. I try my best not to, but you know, we all have our moments, but we'll get there. And speaking of things that you pick just because they've got a funky name, here we are. And I appreciate these are terrible in the light because we're now on the side of the garden centre, but we've got some Rebel Starfighter here. And these last couple of seeds, actually, the Shimmy Fury and the Rebel Starfighter, have come from Red Dragon Seeds, which are a Welsh company. Never tried them before. I think from what I've heard from other people, they've got a good reputation. If I can get their seeds actually out of the packet again, there's only 5-6 in there, so we'll only do 3 or 4. I think I've got 4 there. We don't want to use them all. No, I've got 3, so there must be 6 in the packet. And we've got, God, I'm roasting the sun. Honestly, you wouldn't believe the sun here today. And obviously the greenhouse just amplifies the effect of the sun. And we've got the garage here. And it's great. Honestly, this time of year, you would think that the garage being right next to us causes problems in the greenhouse. But at this time of year, the sun is so high in the air, the sun is so high in the sky, it just comes round over the top of the garage into here. It's beaten down. It's absolutely beaten down on my head, and it is roasting. And I'm just spreading those seeds out a little bit more because these are just the single variety trays that we are doing here. And last but not least, once I have put the correct label in, we have what I personally think is the king or queen or whatever you want it to be of tomatoes, and that is Sun Gold. It is by far the tastiest, nicest, sweetest, straight off the vine tomato I think I've ever had. They are top notch. They are top tier tomatoes, and I think this is the last of my seeds. I might have to get some more for next year. But if there's one tomato that I will grow more than one plant of, it is absolutely Sun Gold. So if you ever, it's just a cherry tomato, so it doesn't grow massive. It's not huge. It's sort of yellowy golden coloured one. But the taste is second to none, and that's why I'm so keen to get the Tim's Taste of Paradise to grow, because a lot of people say it's even better than Sun Gold. But I mean, that's a pretty high bar. You've got to be going some to beat Sun Gold. So if you have made it this far into the video, I'm going to say a big well done to you, because I think not only was there a problem with the main camera during the filming, there was also a problem with this one over here. Let me grab it. the GoPro that I use for the sort of close-up shots when doing the seeds, so possibly about halfway through we might have lost some of that footage as well. But if you're still here at the end, thank you very much for sticking with it. But we've got all our tomatoes over here. Let me bring this one over here. They've all had a good drink, they've all been watered, they've all got their lids on them. Even though it is really hot, it is really nice in the greenhouse today, they aren't going to stay out here for very long. They're going inside, they're going to go on the mixture. Some will go on a heat mat and some will go on a Super 7. They're all going to be heated to get them to germinate. They'll still stay inside for quite a while. They'll go into the grow lights. Only then, once I think they're ready, will they come out here into the greenhouse for a bit and eventually go up to the polytunnel around about the middle of May, when that risk of frost has gone from around about these areas. But anyway, like I said before, let me know in the comments down below what varieties of tomatoes are you doing this year. I always love hearing about the different varieties that people are doing. But anyway, that's me done for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now, folks.